What's up, everyone? Jason Gilbo here at JGilbo11, taking a look at some pitching options for tonight's slate. Overall, we got Noah Syndergaard, who kind of headlines things. We got James Paxton, who's off to an incredible start to the season. We definitely have some options here. Mets, Phillies in this first one. Aaron Nola versus Noah Syndergaard. You look at Syndergaard, obviously one the elite arm on the slate. Despite a couple fingernail blister issues, he needs to stop hanging out with Rich Hill apparently, but safest play on the board, huge home favorite, has one of the lowest run totals on the board there in Philly. Syndergaard's pretty damn close to Clayton Kershaw territory. As far as being dominant, he's yet to walk a hitter this year, which is why I say that. 20 strikeouts, 0 walks in 19 innings so far this season. Velocity is actually up here early on from last year, over a 15% swinging strike rate. This guy's dominated Philly, over 4 starts, 1.37 ERA. You just look at this Philly offense. Bottom 5 in hard contact against right-handers, 8th highest strikeout rate. Like I said, a big home favorite, minus 187 for the Mets. Phillies under 3 run total. So, Syndergaard, it all makes sense. The price tag's really not even that bad tonight to use him on both sides. So, feel free to just fire away. As far as Nola goes, when this guy's healthy, I definitely like him quite a bit. We've seen some upside before. I don't know if I'm quite looking at him tonight. I could definitely see some potential there. 25% strikeout rate going back to last year, 56% ground ball rate, doesn't allow a ton of hard contact. Likely not going to come away with a win, which isn't as important anymore. But I 8,500, I still think I like a little bit more arms around him. On DraftKings, FanDuel, 7,900, as a single bullet, I'm still not leaning that way. You can pay an extra 1,100, get a guy like James Paxton with some big upside there too. So I think I might just bump up. I don't think it's tonight to really pay down as far as FanDuel pitchers go. On DraftKings, you might be able to get away with it, but still, it's not quite the price difference that I was looking for between the other guys. So, Baltimore, Cincinnati, a little bit of weather concerns here. Scott Feldman, Wade Miley. Neither of these arms should be on your radar tonight. Wade Miley might go out there and somehow manage to get through 6 innings and maybe go up 3-4 earned runs, but that's nothing that you need at his price tag. Feldman, not a guy that I'm looking to target either. Nationals and Braves, R.A. Dickey versus Steven Strasburg. Strasburg, nothing more than GPP play tonight. It won't touch him in cash games. I just prefer other options. Obviously, you look at Strasburg, definitely one of the elite arms on the slate. Braves are just going to be one of those pesky teams, I feel like, who aren't going to allow a ton of upside. 14th in WOBA so far this season against right-handers, 32% hard contact rate. 20% strikeout rate. This is kind of where they're going to be. A couple of lefties that can chip away with you. Depending on what that lineup looks like, I know Inciarte is questionable. Matt Kemp's due back, which doesn't really help just because Strasburg's tough on righties anyway. But obviously, as far as strikeout rate goes, Strasburg's definitely up there. Near 30% since last year. 11% swinging strike rate, doesn't allow a ton of hard contact anyway. Obviously, when Strasburg's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But definitely just a GPP pivot for me off of Syndergaard. That's about it, and just hopes that Syndergaard leaves the game early. Doesn't have quite the outing that he should, which I don't see any reason for him not to. But Strasburg is a decent road dog there. I don't mind him, 178, but just a GPP guy. R.A. Dickey, no need for me to touch him tonight. I know some of these guys don't have good numbers off of him, but slate's big enough to me for just avoid Dickey altogether. Royals, Rangers, Andrew Cashner versus Danny Duffy. Tough ballpark for these two guys. Andrew Cashner, definite no. Danny Duffy, if this game was in Kansas City, sure. But in Texas, I'm probably just not going with him tonight. St. Louis, Milwaukee, Zach Davies, no thanks for him. I know Cardinals offense hasn't been that great, but Zach Davies is not a good arm. If there's any day for the Cardinals offense to pick things up, it's certainly today. Carlos Martinez, on the other hand, decent GPP guy tonight for me. I won't be looking at him in cash games, but you look at the Cardinals guy here, near a 14% swinging strike rate to start this season. Has gone, with a 30% strikeout rate altogether. The Brewers, red hot as far as offense goes, but they do strike out a ton, 26%, just below the Rays. Vegas has, Milwaukee right around 4 runs, which is a little bit scary for a starting pitcher, but still not that bad. Miller Park is a downgrade for Martinez, but I mean, over 72 at-bats, it's a smaller sample size, but current Milwaukee lineup, 34% strikeout rate against Milwaukee or against Martinez. Obviously, Martinez was a guy, I mean, one of the weirdest Yankee starts I've seen, walked a ton of guys, and then, dialed up, 11 strikeouts it was. So Martinez has really got the strikeout upside working this year so far. Milwaukee's a heavy strikeout team. There is a lot of upside. I still think Paxton, Syndergaard are safer, even though Strasburg is safer. But I do like Martinez for the upside tonight. There is huge potential there. But there also is, a little bit of blow potential as well. Diamondbacks Padres, Clayton Richard versus Patrick Corbin. Picking one of these lefties, I rather go with Corbin. I don't think Clayton Richard's in a bad spot. I don't think he'll pitch all that bad. I like Corbin just a little bit more here. Not missing a ton of bats, still is allowing a decent amount of base runners. As far as an SP2 goes, I mean, if you're really looking to fit in a lot of expensive bats, Patrick Corbin at 6'9" is not that bad. Padres offense 19th in ISO against lefties this season. Tough for right-handed power. Will Myers is the only guy that I worry about. They also have a 21% strikeout rate. Look at Corbin. I mean, against Cleveland, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, he's held his own so far. 2 of those games in Chase Field, which has played really well for hitters over the last few seasons. So Corbin's an intriguing arm. I definitely don't mind him. I think he's a decent option as an SP2. Definitely not using him as an SP1. But intriguing. As far as Richard goes, I mean, stuff to like about him. Rolls around a lot of ground balls, 63% ground ball rate. Doesn't strike out a ton of bats. Doesn't allow hard contact. But, for me, I much rather use Corbin against the Padres offense than Richard against the Diamondbacks offense. Mariners Athletics, Cesar Valdez, this is a guy you shouldn't be using tonight. But James Paxton, this is a guy who's really turned things around. And while Syndergaard has yet to allow a walk this year, Paxton's yet to allow a run. Obviously, 163 BABIP helping him out quite a bit, but ERA estimators are strong with him. Not allowing a ton of hard contact. Look at his increased velocity from last year. It's holding so far this year. Everything looks really good. Throwing the knuckle curve a lot more this year, which has generated a higher strikeout rate. That and his cut fastball have been absolutely lethal to start the season. And given the fact that the usage rate is up on both those 2 pitches is, huge. A's have been a bottom 5 team against cutters and curveballs so far this year. I look for Paxton's success to continue. Oakland, 27th in WOBA against lefties, 27% hard contact rate. They're striking out more than years past, 22%. Pitching friendly environment. I mean, Paxton's right behind Syndergaard tonight. And I like pairing the 2 together on DraftKings, even at higher price tags. I like spinning down to him, even on FanDuel if you're looking to save the extra, 2,200. So, I mean, Paxton's definitely a worthwhile arm to look at for now, and definitely later on. So, big Paxton fan here. Definitely Syndergaard, Paxton, Martinez, Strasburg guys you can look at. Patrick Corbin, not a bad value tonight on DK or Yahoo either. So, let's wrap things up here. You can head on over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our great tools and content.